There is an invisible electrical fire happening right now between your ear and your brain, and the sound you hear is the literal sizzle of the flames. That constant ringing, high-pitched whistle, or low-frequency roar that keeps you awake isn't a real sound. It is the noise of electricity leaking from your auditory nerves because a single mineral barrier has vanished from your system. Your neurons are literally short-circuiting. For 90% of people suffering from this, the problem isn't that the ears are broken, it's that the neural wiring has lost its protective coating. When this happens, the background noise of your own nervous system, the natural hum of your brain just staying alive, leaks into your hearing center. Your brain interprets this electrical leak as a siren that never stops. In the next 60 seconds, you are going to understand why the traditional advice of just live with it is not only wrong, but dangerous for your long-term cognitive health. The auditory nerve is a high-speed data cable. It carries complex electrical signals from your inner ear to your brain at incredible speeds. To keep these signals from blurring together, the nerve is wrapped in a fatty substance called myelin. Think of myelin as the industrial-grade rubber insulation on a power line. It keeps the electricity contained so it reaches its destination without losing power or causing a fire. However, there is a master mineral that regulates how this insulation functions and how the nerve cells communicate. When your levels of this mineral drop below a specific threshold, the myelin begins to degrade. It becomes porous. The electricity that should be carrying the sound of a bird chirping or a loved one's voice starts to spray out into the surrounding brain tissue. This is a neural short circuit. The ringing you hear is the literal static of your brain trying to process this leaked energy. Most people think they can just eat more spinach or take a generic multivitamin to fix this, but it doesn't work that way. Once the short circuit has been active for more than a few months, your brain enters a state of hyperexcitability. It becomes addicted to the noise. Even if you replenish the mineral today, the damage to the neural insulation is often too deep for the body to repair on its own. Your system is stuck in a loop of inflammation and electrical decay. This is why so many people feel like their tinnitus gets louder when they are stressed or tired. Stress flushes this mineral out of your body even faster, making the leaks in your wiring even worse. To stop the noise, you have to do more than just stop the leak. You have to rebuild the entire insulation layer from scratch. If you want to see the exact clinical protocol that targets this short circuit at a cellular level and forces the brain to reboot its hearing center, you need to check the first link in the description. This missing mineral is zinc, but not in the form you find in a cheap drugstore pill. We are talking about the bioavailable ionic version that the auditory cortex uses to regulate the gain of your hearing. Zinc acts as the brake pedal for your ears. It tells the brain when to ignore background static. When zinc is low, the brake pedal is gone. Your brain turns the volume up to maximum, trying to find a signal that isn't there. This is why 90% of tinnitus patients show a clinical deficiency in this specific area. The ears are screaming because the brain has lost its ability to quiet the internal noise. But here is the catch. Zinc cannot cross the blood-brain barrier effectively if your neural pathways are already inflamed. You end up with a situation where your blood might have enough zinc, but your auditory nerves are still starving and sparking. As the sparking continues, it creates a toxic byproduct called glutamate. In a healthy brain, glutamate is great. It helps you think and learn. But when your nerves are short-circuiting, glutamate builds up until it becomes excitotoxic. It literally starts to burn out the synapses in your inner ear. This is why many people with tinnitus notice their memory starting to fade or their focus slipping away. The noise is just the first symptom. The brain drain is the real secondary disaster. You are using up massive amounts of mental energy just trying to filter out a sound that shouldn't be there. It's like running a high-end computer with a cooling fan that is broken. Eventually, the whole system is going to crash. The feedback loop is a vicious cycle. The noise causes stress. The stress depletes your mineral reserves, and the mineral depletion makes the noise louder. To break it, you have to hit the system from two angles at once. You have to provide the raw materials to stop the sparking, and you have to provide the coolant to stop the glutamate fire. Most doctors won't tell you this because they are trained to look at the ear as a mechanical device. a drum, and some bones. But your hearing is an electrical process. If the electricity is leaking, no amount of ear cleaning or hearing aids will fix the fundamental short circuit. You are fighting a fire with a squirt gun if you aren't addressing the neural insulation directly. The insulation repair process is slow if you rely on food alone. You would have to eat hundreds of oysters every single day to get the specific concentration required to jumpstart the repair of the auditory myelin sheath. And even then, your gut might not absorb it. This is why the modern breakthrough in neural recovery is so vital. It uses a specific delivery system to bypass the digestive tract and send the repair kits directly to the sparking nerves. It's like calling in a specialized electrical crew to rewrap those frayed wires while the power is still running. If you are tired of the static and want to give your brain the literal silence it needs to heal, you should take a look at the Synaptic Restoration Guide at the second link below. This is the difference between masking the sound and actually fixing the hardware that is creating it. Visualize waking up tomorrow, and the first thing you notice is nothing. Just the heavy, beautiful weight of actual silence. No hiss, no whistle, no electrical hum. That silence is a biological state that your brain is supposed to be in. The ringing isn't a part of you. It's a malfunction of the casing around your nerves. When you provide the right mineral environment, the brain stops trying to find the sound. The hypervigilance fades, your heart rate drops, your focus returns. This isn't a dream. It is what happens when you stop the short-circuiting and let the nerves heal. But you have to act before the glutamate fire causes permanent scar tissue on your auditory cortex. Once the nerves are scarred, the silence becomes much harder to reclaim. We also have to talk about the gain control in your brainstem. Think of this as the master volume knob for your life. When you are missing this key mineral, the knob is stuck at 11. Everything feels loud, yet you can't understand what people are saying. This hidden hearing loss is a direct result of the neural static. Your brain is so busy trying to manage the sparks from the short circuit that it doesn't have the processing power left to decode speech. This is why you find yourself asking people to repeat themselves, even though you can hear them just fine. The static is blurring the edges of every word. By repairing the insulation, you don't just stop the ringing, you sharpen your entire world. You get your HD hearing back. The problem is that the modern world is designed to drain this mineral from your body. Processed sugars, caffeine, and high-stress environments act like a vacuum, sucking the zinc and magnesium out of your cells. This is why tinnitus is becoming a global epidemic. We are living in a high-spark environment with low insulation bodies. If you don't actively work to shield your nerves, the short-circuiting will only get worse as you age. It's an accumulative process. Every year that the ringing continues is another year of electrical erosion on your brain. You wouldn't leave a sparking wire in your wall and hope it fixes itself. You shouldn't do it with your head either. There is a window of opportunity here. Your brain is remarkably plastic. It wants to heal. It is constantly trying to rewire itself, but it can't build a house without bricks. The mineral we are discussing is the brick, and the ClickBank resource I've linked is the architect that shows your body how to use those bricks to seal the leaks. This combination is the only way I've seen people go from jet engine levels of noise to total, blissful quiet in a matter of weeks. It's about giving the body exactly what it needs to perform a factory reset on the auditory system. You aren't just buying a supplement, you are buying your focus and your peace of mind back. As the sparking subsides, you'll notice something else. The pressure in your ears starts to vanish. Many people describe tinnitus as a feeling of fullness or clogging. This isn't wax or fluid. It is the physical sensation of neural inflammation. When the nerves stop leaking electricity, the inflammation drops and the ears finally pop open. It feels like taking off a heavy helmet you didn't know you were wearing. The relief is visceral. It's a lightness that spreads from your ears down into your jaw and neck. You don't realize how much you've been bracing against the noise until it finally stops. If you've tried every hack on the internet, the finger tapping, the rain sounds, the special diets, and you are still hearing the hiss, It's because those things only address the symptoms. They are like trying to put out a house fire by painting the walls a different color. You have to go into the basement and fix the electrical box. You have to stop the short circuit. The missing mineral is the key, but the delivery system is the secret. You can find the final piece of this puzzle at the third link in the description. This is the specific neural shield protocol that 90% of people are missing. Don't let your brain continue to spark itself into exhaustion. The commitment to silence starts with understanding that you aren't crazy and you aren't stuck. The noise has a biological cause, and therefore it has a biological solution. Your nerves are just peeled wires in a storm. It's time to bring them inside, dry them off, and wrap them in the protection they deserve. The silence is still there, waiting for you to clear the static. It's the background of your life that you've been missing for too long. Take the step today to rebuild your neural insulation. Use the protocol, feed your nerves, and flip the switch on the short circuit for good. The silence is closer than you think, but it won't happen by accident. It requires a deliberate rewiring of your auditory system. Every day you wait is another day of glutamate buildup, another day of brain drain, another day of the siren in your head. You have the information now. You know about the mineral, you know about the myelin, and you know about the sparking nerves. The only thing left to do is provide the repair kit. Go to the link below, watch the presentation on synaptic repair, and see how easy it is to start the process of rebuilding your silence. Your brain is ready to be quiet. It's just waiting for you to give it the insulation to do so. Let's make today the last day you have to struggle to hear over the static. Reclaim your silence, reclaim your focus, and finally, get some rest.